Nancy was born into hardship. Her mother, Mama Nancy, was a widow and a local trader who sold roasted corn and gari at the junction. She believed education would save her only child. When Nancy won a full scholarship to Devon Blossom Girls College, she cried tears of joy. At first, Nancy was a star, first in class, quiet, humble, obedient. Her grades were unmatched. Teachers adored her. Even the principal used her as an example. But that school was also where her life would slowly begin to crumble. Mary and Faith arrived at school like celebrities, escorted by drivers, carrying iPhones, boxes of new clothes, and perfumes that lingered in the air. Their parents were powerful and rich, and they knew it. They didn't come to learn. They came to own the school. Their bunks were covered in silk sheets. They mocked the food at the dining hall. They laughed at poor students like Nancy. At first. But one day, Faith noticed Nancy reading quietly under a tree during lunch. "You're always reading like one grandmother," she joked. Nancy smiled, shyly. By the next week, they were offering her snacks. Then new sandals. Then perfumes. Then money. In exchange. "Help me write this test. Just this one." Before long, Nancy was helping them with assignments, tests, and take-home essays. The girls began dragging her along to weekend parties outside school. They bribed Uncle Peter, the night security guard, with N2000 each. Nancy protested at first, but when Mary offered her a new wig and a chance to eat chicken suya with Coke at the club, she gave in. "Just once," Nancy whispered. But once turned to twice. Twice became every weekend. In the school, Mary and Faith began bullying junior girls. They turned them into personal mates. "Wash our uniforms. Scrub our toilet. Lick your spit off the floor." One girl screamed in the hostel one night. Nancy watched, silently. She didn't join them, but she didn't stop them either. She was becoming someone else. Her eyes lost their shine. Her grades slipped. Teachers called her in. Her sponsor emailed her warning letters. Still, she followed the girls. The money was sweet. The clothes were finer. The lies were easier. One evening, an agency contacted them through Mary's phone. "Big client. Politician. Needs 3 girls tonight. Hotel suite. N200,000 each. Real deal." Nancy hesitated. She had a chemistry test the next morning. "Babe, relax," Faith purred. "This man is clean. And after this, we won't need pocket money for the rest of the term." They snuck out through the back fence. Uncle Peter was already waiting with the bolt cutter. "God go help Una," he said, counting the bribe. The room smelled like leather and alcohol. The man, older, in his 50s, offered them champagne, then silence. What happened next left Nancy shaking, her clothes scattered on the floor. The man didn't just use them. He brutalized them. The next morning, there was no money. Just a note: "You wanted to be women. Act like one." 3 weeks later, the symptoms started. Fever. Skin rashes. Sores. Mary fainted in the dormitory toilet. Nancy vomited during biology practical. The clinic nurse screamed when she saw the test results. "We don't have treatment for this. This isn't malaria or typhoid." They were transferred to the State General Hospital. Diagnosis: untreatable venereal infection with multiple complications. The principal expelled them quietly. The school tried to cover it up, but rumors spread like fire. Nancy's mother came to pick her up. She had wrapped her only wrapper around her waist and carried a polythene bag filled with oranges for her daughter. When she saw Nancy, she collapsed. Nancy returned to her dusty village, her body weak, her dreams shattered. Mama Nancy wept by candlelight. I prayed for you. I fasted. Why didn't you tell me? Nancy lay on the mat, thin as a shadow. Her once bright eyes stared into nothing. I wanted to fit in, Mama. I just wanted to be like them. Mary's father disowned her. She was sent to a rehab in South Africa. Fate tried to take her own life, but was stopped in time. She now lives with an aunt in Ibadan, under strict surveillance. None of them spoke again. 2 years later, Nancy now volunteers at a local youth center. Her body is still healing. She speaks to teenage girls about choices, pressure, and pain. I'm not perfect, she tells them. But if my story saves even one of you, then maybe, just maybe, I've found a new purpose. Moral lesson. This is not just a story. It's a warning. When you trade your future for quick pleasure, you don't just lose your grades, you lose your soul. Choose wisely. Because one night can ruin everything. If you enjoyed this and want more stories like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and follow for more.